What do you mean my sister's house got burnt? Is she okay? Chineke, my nephew.
Jesus, my house is burning! Help! Help!
Screamed Mama Abiola, her voice slicing through the still afternoon air of Omogu Township.
No, my son, go now! Save my grandchild!
Mama, jump! I'll catch you. Please!
But the heat was fierce, and the fear froze her feet. The curtains behind her had caught fire. People rushed from every corner, from the roadside barber shop, from under the mango trees, from the market, everyone running toward the thick black smoke rising above her compound. But to understand how the fire came to be, and the miracle that followed, we must begin her story, truly how it started. Whispers of Secret Tales. Mama Abiola was a 55-year-old, strong but gentle, with a face shaped by both laughter and struggle. She lived in a small 2-bedroom house her late father had left her, an old cream-colored building with cracks that told stories of time and perseverance. Her husband, who had promised her heaven and earth, left when their only son, Chuka, was barely 2 weeks old. But Mama Abiola did not let pain drown her.
If a tree loses one branch, it still grows leaves.
She opened a small restaurant right beside her home, a wooden kiosk with 2 gas cylinders, a coal pot, and benches for customers. It was called Abiola's Place, and the aroma of her cooking could make even clouds pause. Her jollof rice was famous in the area. Her egusi soup was known to heal heartbreak. Even her mwemwe, people said, could make a man forgive his enemy. Through that humble restaurant, she fed her son, clothed him, and sent him to university. The joy of a new generation. Years passed, and Chuka grew into a fine young man, tall, soft-spoken, and hardworking. At 30, he was engaged to a kind young woman named Ifeoma. When they welcomed the baby boy, the whole compound celebrated. Mama Abiola named the baby Obina, meaning the father's heart. From that day, she glowed like a woman reborn. She would sing lullabies as she rocked the baby, smiling to herself.
Obina, my sunshine, you will bring double blessings to this family.
Her small restaurant beside the house buzzed with life. The aroma of jollof rice, fried plantain, and pepper soup filled the street every afternoon. Drivers, traders, and school teachers trooped in daily to eat. One of her most loyal customers, Mr. Ekene, often teased.
Mama Abiola, you'll soon make all of us fat with your good food.
She would laugh and reply,
Better to be full and happy than hungry and angry, my brother.
But one Wednesday afternoon, as she changed the gas cylinder behind the counter, she noticed something strange. A faint hiss, the smell of gas. She frowned and wiped her hands with a wrapper. She called out to the gas supplier who had just arrived to drop off new cylinders.
But Mama, I told you I already paid for the gas delivery last week.
Then why is the cylinder still empty? You think I have money to waste?
This cylinder is leaking. The last one you brought also had a smell. Please check it well.
The young man waved a hand dismissively.
Mama, nothing to your help were serviced last month. Maybe it's just the rubber ring adjusting.
Wait. I don't like the sound of that. The smell is strong.
Don't worry, Mama. It's fine. Just tighten it well. You know these things, he said, rolling his trolley back toward his truck. She sighed, but trusted his word. After all, he'd been supplying her gas for years. She tightened the valve, sprayed a little soapy water to check for bubbles. Nothing seemed to move, so she continued cooking, unaware that beneath the calm surface, danger waited silently. Every evening after work, Chuka would stop by the restaurant before heading home.
What's up, big person?
Mama, reduce how much you lift these big pots, I beg. Let the girls help you.
She would smile and wave him off.
Leave me, my son. This fire has fed us for years. I can't just sit and watch.
At night, she took little Obina into her arms, while Chuka and Ifeoma worked at the printing press. The baby's soft giggles filled the house, and she would hum softly, "Sleep, my sunshine. Your father's heart, sleep." But fate, oh fate, sometimes hides a storm behind a gentle sky.
The day of the fire.
It was one hot afternoon in March, the kind of heat that made even the walls sweat. The air was so dry that the lizards hid beneath broken flower pots, and the breeze carried the smell of dust and fried oil. Mama Abiola tied baby Obina to her back with a soft wrapper as she moved around her kitchen. The restaurant had been busy earlier, and she wanted to clean up before the evening customers came. She picked up her phone and dialed her vegetable supplier, Yomi.
Yomi, I beg bring me fresh ugu and water leaf this afternoon. The ones from yesterday don't spoil.
No wahala, Mama Abiola. I dey come small time. I go even add free pepper for you. Na bonus.
Good boy. God bless you.
As she scrubbed the cooking table, Obina began to cry, loud and restless. She murmured, pausing to untie him from her back. She sat on the chair by the window, adjusted him in her arms, and gently began to nurse him. The rhythm of his tiny sucking soon slowed, but he was still fastened. So she began to sing in her soft melodic voice.
Obina, my sunshine, sleep, oh my child. The angels watch you day and night.
Her voice floated through the room, mingling with the faint hum of the old radio in the background. Before long, baby Obina cries turned to soft breaths. He had fallen asleep. She smiled, her heart full. Carefully, she laid him in his small woven cot and covered him lightly with a cloth. Just then, her phone rang again. It was Ifeoma, her son's fiancée. She said that,
Mama, good afternoon. How are you and my baby?
We're fine, my dear. He just finished eating and is sleeping now. Don't worry yourself. Not just face your office work. You and Chuka should come home safe, eh? I'll see you this evening.
Yes, Mama. Thank you.
Mama Abiola smiled, set the phone down, and stood to rinse the utensils. The faint smell of gas lingered for a while, but she brushed it off, assuming it came from the earlier cooking. She opened the window wider to let in some air and continued tidying the kitchen. Outside, the sun glowed like a ball of fire, sinking behind the mango trees. Yomi's bicycle bell jingled faintly in the distance as he approached with her vegetables. Everything seemed peaceful, ordinary. But inside the restaurant, beneath the counter, one of the old cylinders hissed quietly, feeding the air with invincible danger. As the sun began to set, Chuka and Ifeoma left work early. Chuka said, smiling as he packed his things.
Let's surprise Mama. She'll be happy to rest a bit.
But as they turned into their street, their smiles vanished. A massive boom tore through the air, so loud the ground shook. Flames leapt from the restaurant like a beast set free, roaring towards the small house. Smoke curled into the orange sky, and the air filled with screams. Chuka dropped his bag at the gate and ran, his heart in his throat. He shouted, his voice breaking through the chaos.
Mama! Mama!
A mother's selfless order. Inside, Mama Abiola coughed, her eyes burning from the smoke. She rushed to the window, holding baby Obina tight in his small baby cradle. When she saw her son below, she cried out,
Chuka, take the baby and go.
Mama, jump. I'll catch you. Please.
He shouted desperately. But the heat was fierce, and the fear froze her feet. The curtains behind her had caught fire. She said between tears,
No, my son, go now. Save my grandchild.
Chuka shook his head violently.
Mama! Mama! Never!
He ran to Ifeoma standing by, thrust the baby in her hands, and sprinted back, coughing as the smoke thickened. He climbed the side of the porch, breaking through the wooden door with his shoulder. He shouted. Through the smoke, he found her crouching near the bed, shielding her face. He grabbed her arm, half carrying, half dragging her toward the door. Just as they stumbled out, the bedroom behind exploded and burst into flames. Neighbors were relieved as they saw the two emerging, coughing, trembling, but alive. The fire service arrived minutes later, hosing down the blaze, but it was too late. The restaurant and the house, everything she had worked for her whole life, had burned to ashes. Ashes and tears. The fire service had done their best, but by the time the last flame died, nothing remained of Mama Abiola's house and restaurant, only ashes, twisted pots, and memories. An ambulance had rushed her and Chuka to the general hospital that evening. Mama Abiola had sustained burns on her arms and feet, and her only lively face was now streaked with shoots and exhaustion. Chuka sat beside her in the hospital bed, her hands clasped tightly, while Ifeoma rocked baby Obina near the window. 2 days later, the doctor, a kind man named Dr. Adefemi, came into the ward, smiling gently.
Mama Abiola, you are lucky. The burns are not deep. You will both recover fully. But please, rest. You've been through a great shock.
She nodded quietly, her eyes distant.
Thank you, doctor. God used you for us.
After a week, they were discharged. The nurses waved them warmly and Chuka carried his mother to the neighbor's compound, where they were offered a small guest room. The room was barely large enough for a bed, a small crib for Obina, and a stool. At night, Chuka and Ifeoma took turns sleeping on the mats. The smell of smoke still clung to their clothes, and every time Mama Abiola closed her eyes, she saw the fire again, roaring, angry, devouring her world. For days, she barely spoke. Chuka tried to stay optimistic. Mama, don't worry. We'll find another place to rent. We'll rebuild. But she only shook her head, her voice low.
This is us. Oh God, Jesus.
Every morning, she would quietly step outside and walk to the ruins of the house. The walls were charred black, the air thick with smell of burnt wood. She would stand there for a long time, staring silently, as though her soul was searching through the ashes for a piece of hope. Even if Yoma tried to lift her spirits. Mama, you are alive. That's what matters. You gave us everything. We can start again. But Mama Abiola would only murmur.
A tree without roots cannot grow.
What do you mean my sister's house got burnt? Is she okay? Chineke, my nephew.
Then, one hot afternoon, Aunt Ajoke arrived, her younger sister. She swept into the neighbor's compound in her big car, wearing a bright red outfit and gold earrings that sparkled in the sun. She cried hurriedly over, dramatically.
Ajoke, you have come. God bless you.
Abiola, my sister, see what has happened. If I had known, I would have come that same night.
Mama Abiola managed a weak smile. Aunt Ajoke looked around the cramped room, wrinkling her nose slightly.
Aha! Are you people staying here in this tiny place? This is not good at all. My dear, pack your things. Come and live with me.
You know my house. 6 bedrooms, plenty of space. Your uncle is in the UK, so it's okay. Only me and the children. You people can stay until you find your feet. Looking at Chuka. Chuka looked at his mother, hopefully. But Mama Abiola's eyes hardened slightly. She knew her sister too well. Years ago, Ajoke had convinced her to start a catering business together, promising to split profits equally, only for her to later demand 70% ownership, claiming she had better business sense. That deal had nearly torn their family apart. Since then, Abiola had kept her distance. She took a deep breath.
Ajoka, thank you. But we will manage here. God is not asleep.
Manage in this place? You are too proud, Abiola.
Aunt Ajoke frowned. For a moment, there was silence. Then Ajoke scoffed and adjusted her bangles. Suit yourself. When you are tired of suffering, you know my address. She turned and left, her perfume lingering behind, a memory of false promises. Later, as the family sat quietly in their neighbor's guest room, Chuka sighed deeply.
Mama, why didn't you agree? Aunt Ajok meant well.
I know, Abiola said softly, her voice calm but firm.
Sometimes help that comes with a rope around your neck is not help at all.
Mama Abiola looked at him, her face lined but strong.
Not every open door leads to freedom. Some lead into cages. We will wait for God's time.
As though she spoke softly, there was something unshakable in her tone. The quiet strength of a woman who had been beaten by life but not broken. The visitor. A week later, as she sat under a mango tree outside a neighbor's house, a familiar black SUV stopped by. Out stepped Mr. Ekene, a tall man in fine clothes and dark glasses. He had been one of her loyal customers for years, a quiet man who never haggled over food, always polite. She remembered him well, especially the days when he used to come with old shoes and a tired face, struggling to pay for a pail of rice.
Mama Abiola!
He called, his voice warm and concerned.
Mr. Kenny, you're back in town.
She looked up, surprised. He nodded, frowning as he looked at the burnt site.
I heard what happened. I'm so sorry, I couldn't believe it.
Tears filled her eyes.
It is God's will. Fire does not warn us before it bites.
He sighed deeply.
You helped me once, Mama. You don't remember, but I do.
Helped you?
He sighed deeply.
Yes, Mama, you've always been there for me. 12 years ago, when I was broke, you saw me sitting here with an empty plate. You fed me every day for a week until I found my footing. I told myself that one day I would repay that kindness.
Mama smiled, faintly shaking her head.
Ah, my son. Kindness does not keep receipts.
He smiled too, but there was something in his eyes, something she couldn't read. The surprise. A week later, Mr. Ekene returned. He came early in the morning this time, dressed simply in a white shirt and dark trousers, holding a small envelope in his hand. His car, a blue SUV, waited by the tree. He said cheerfully,
Mama Abiola, get ready. I want to show you something.
Mama Abiola, sitting on a wooden stool in a neighbor's yard, looked up in surprise.
Show me something. Ah, my son, where are we going?
He smiled, saying, Don't ask too many questions. Mama, just follow me. It's a good thing. Chuka hesitated. Say, we can't trouble you any further. You've already done so much. Mr. Ekene said, Don't argue, young man. Sometimes blessings don't wait for permission. They just come. So they all got into the car. Mama Abiola in the front seat, with Chuka and Informa in the back. Baby Obina sleeping in Informa's arms. As they drove through town, Mama Abiola couldn't stop glancing at him.
Mr. Ekene, at least tell me small. Are we going to eat somewhere?
You will see soon, Mama.
Ah, child, what are you planning?
The car glided through familiar streets, past the market, past the school, past the little church where Mama Abiola once sold jollof rice after service. They turned into a quiet street lined with neat houses and young mango trees. At the very end stood freshly painted three-bedroom bungalow, its cream walls shining under the morning sun. Next to it was a small open space with a signboard that read in bold letters, "Restaurant space available for lease." Mr. Kenneth stopped the car. Mama Abiola looked around, blinking in confusion.
Aha! This place is fine, oh. Who is the lucky person that will stay here?
Mr. Kenneth turned toward her with a soft smile.
You are, Mama.
Me? What do you mean?
She blinked again, unsure she had heard correctly. He opened a small brown envelope and handed it to her. Inside were house documents, restaurant space keys, and a shiny set of keys.
This house and the restaurant space beside it, they are yours now, fully paid for. You can start again, Mama. You once fed me when I had nothing. Let me return the favor now that I can.
For a heartbeat, the world went completely silent. The wind stilled, even the birds seemed to pause mid-song. Then Mama Abiola dropped the envelope and fell to her knees, her hands on her head. She cried, tears flooding her face.
Chineke! Is this dream or truth? Ifeoma.
But he said it's former.
Chuka bent down beside her, lifting the papers, his hands trembling. He turned to his fiancée, his voice breaking. She covered her mouth in shock. Chuka turned to Mr. Ekene, his eyes glistening. Mr. Ekene said, "My son, when I had nothing, your mother's food kept me alive. There was a day I came to the restaurant with only 10 naira, and she gave me rice, stew, and meat, and told me, 'Eat first, money can come later.' That day, her kindness gave me strength to keep going. I never forgot." He turned to Mama Abiola, his gentle voice.
Good deeds never die. They may sleep for years, but wake up one day.
Mr. Ekene helped her to her feet and placed the keys in her palm. "Welcome home, Mama Abiola." Mama Abiola excited, clutching his hands.
God will bless you, my son. You have rebuilt what I thought was lost forever.
May your children never see shame.
The family walked slowly into the compound, touching walls, opening the doors, staring in awe at the bright clean rooms. In the kitchen, Mama Abiola ran her hands over the new counter and whispered,
My Father in heaven, you have done it again.
Outside, baby Obina giggled in Ifeoma's arms, as if sensing the joy in the air. For the first time since the fire, laughter returned to the Abiola family, warm, full, and alive. And that evening, as the sun dipped low over the new home, Mama Abiola stood before the restaurant space, eyes wet with gratitude.
See what kindness can cook. A meal that never burns.
A new beginning. A month later, the new Abiola's place opened again, bigger, brighter, and more beautiful than before. The scent of her jollof rice once again drifted through the streets, mingling with the laughter of customers and the clatter of spoons. The new restaurant had polished wooden tables, colorful curtains, and a painted signboard that proudly read, Abiola's Place, home of kindness and good food. Customers came from far and wide, curious about the woman whose story had spread across town, the woman who lost everything in a fire, that rose again, and the reward of her kindness. Children pointed excitedly when they passed. See this place. That's the restaurant of the woman who helped the rich man when he was poor. And the adults would nod, smiling knowingly. One Saturday afternoon, as the lunch rush slowed, a familiar car pulled up outside the restaurant. The door opened, and out stepped Aunt Ajoke, dressed in her full usual fine outfit and gold bangles that glittered under the sun. She said, stepping into the restaurant with a wide grin.
Mama Abiola, so it's true. I said I must see it with my own eyes.
Mama Abiola, surprised but welcoming. Ajoke, my sister, you came? Aunt Ajoke looked around, taking in the neat rows of chairs and busy counter, and a crowd of happy customers.
Abiola, your good heart has lifted you. Oh. I heard everything. How that man came back and blessed you.
She clapped her hands together, her tone half praising, half marveling. You see, you always had a soft heart. Now your goodness has turned to gold. Mama Abiola smiled gently, stirring a pot of stew as the rich aroma filled the room.
Ajoke, it is not me. It is God. When he decides to open a door, no hand can close it.
Ajoke nodded, still glancing around. Truly, God is great. You see now why I said we should do business together. If I had known this blessing would come, maybe we'd both be sharing the glory. Mama Abiola chuckled softly, shaking her head. Ah, Ajoke, everyone has their time and their path. Mine came through pain, but God turned it into praise. Ajoke sighed, looking at her sister with a mix of admiration and envy. Well, I'm happy for you, Abiola. Truly, you deserve this. Thank you, my sister, Mama Abiola said warmly. May God bless your home too. We all need His mercy every day. Aunt Ajoke smiled faintly, squeezed her hand, and after a few minutes of chatting, returned to her car. As she drove away, the sun caught the words on a restaurant's signboard, making them gleam like gold. That evening, after the last customers left, Mama Abiola sat outside the restaurant with Chuka, Ifeoma, and baby Obina. The air was calm, and the smell of fresh stew still lingered. She rocked her grandson gently on her lap, his tiny hand clutching her wrapper. She looked toward the horizon, her voice soft but steady. Mama Abiola said, when a heart gives freely, even ashes can grow blessings. Chuka placed his hand on her shoulder. Mama, you've taught us what true faith looks like. Your wisdom to refuse my aunt's offer, truly it was from God. She nodded slowly.
My son, it is faith that has kept me standing when the fire came. As long as we trust God, no storm can drown us.
The evening breeze carried her words down the quiet streets, past the glowing restaurants, lights, past the mango trees, and into the heart of the town. A gentle reminder that kindness, like a seed, never dies. And from that day, people often said, if you eat from Abiola's place, you will taste not just food, but the goodness of a woman whose heart fed the world and found grace in return. Moral of the story: kindness is a seed. It may sleep for years beneath the soil of time, but one day, when life's fire had taken all, it will rise again, bringing shade, comfort, and joy. Share this to inspire someone going through a hard time. We must also be cautious with household items that can cause a fire. Safety first, always. If you love this, kindly share, subscribe. Let me know what you learned from this story. Thank you for watching. Bye.